Young ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all, or good morning. You are once again welcome here on your platform. Much love, the platform for awakening consciousness. So, it's making international headlines. The Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, is completely inconsolable, as his plans have just been thwarted by the information circulating among diplomats from the United Nations organization. The United Nations wants to step into Volodymyr Zelensky's affairs, and it's the only solution. And you will easily understand if you have followed our previous conferences, our previous video conferences, I was going to say, our previous analyses, you will understand that obviously Donald Trump has something to do with it. You know, for a quick return to peace in Ukraine, something must be done. Volodymyr Zelensky must absolutely leave, as he is the obstacle today. We have already explained this because he does not want to leave power. There is martial law in place. Even if he runs as a candidate in the elections, there is no certainty that he can win, since the Ukrainian people already see him as the source of their misfortune. So, that's one aspect. But the other aspect to consider is that at the moment we are speaking, Vladimir Putin, having pressed the accelerator, is currently reclaiming a significant amount of territory, among which there are many rare earths. This is the case with the People's Republic of Lugansk, which has just been almost completely liberated. You have the People's Republic of Zaporizhia, which is still being liberated at 70%. So, this rapid advance done in record time. Of Russia on Ukrainian soil, it scares Donald Trump, it scares the United Nations. Since Donald Trump wants to recover the rare earths in Ukraine for a payment, of course, but Russia is reclaiming these rare earths for free, at the cost of war, of course. And what needs to be done to stop Russia? It is necessary, quickly, to obtain this agreement. But who is blocking this agreement? It's Volodymyr Zelensky. We saw earlier he said he would not go to Washington. So, in this logic, the United States is considering setting up an interim government. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in the context of this video conference, this is what we are going to discuss in detail. But before continuing, I humbly ask you to share this video conference. Share it as much as possible in all available groups. Give it a lot of likes. And if it's your first time here, don't hesitate to subscribe. This allows you to never miss the decryption of global news in real time. There you go. For all the new people, my name is Robert Théa. I am Guinean. I am a teacher-researcher in the law faculty at the largest university in the Republic of Guinea. Yes, I am the president of the emerging political party called the Citizens Party, Service of the Republic. And I take this opportunity to ask you to help me say thank you to one of our subscriber friends. Here, one of our fighters in the struggle, a very committed Pan-African named Amical Cabral, I believe I'm not mistaken about his name, who was staying in Mauritania, bought a beautiful boo-boo for me from Mauritania. He bought the beautiful boo-boo. He sent it to me. Yes, he put it on the plane, all that. He went through a lot. The boo-boo got damaged, but it arrived. Let me quickly see if I can show you the boo-boo, please. Here it is. This is the boo-boo. It's a basin. It's a traditional outfit of the Mauritanians. There you go. My dear friend, I have indeed, of course, received it. I have received the package. There you go. We are Pan-Africanists. There you go. So I will often dress in traditional attire from Mauritania. Here are the pants that are here. Very pretty, well embroidered. There you go. So, help me to say thank you to him in passing. And that's how it is, and we have never met physically. And given the work we are doing, we make friendships and connections. We make people who place their trust in us and who agree to take their money, who go to buy, who willingly spend money to ship and happily send it to you. Your gift, without any ulterior motive. We can only say thank you. May God bless you. May God reward you 100-fold. So let's dive deep, ladies and gentlemen. Interim government, but it's very heated regarding Vladimir Zelensky. What are we learning? First, What needs to be said is that Russian troops have liberated 99% of the territories of the Lugansk People's Republic. And when we talk about Lugansk, you know that the conflict on the side of this republic has lasted a long time. And here, at 99%, Russia has just liberated, reclaimed. So, the strategic initiative is entirely in the hands of the Russian troops across the entire front line. This is what Vladimir Putin declared. So, the Ukrainian troops, the NATO troops, no longer have the initiative. They don't even know what to do anymore. In the speech that was made during the meeting with the sailors in Burkina, when Putin authorized the launch of their new submarines, Putin announced that there is the possibility of introducing interim governance in Ukraine, which could be discussed under the auspices of the UN and a number of countries. So, the UN is looking into this, setting up interim governance, thus a transitional government without Zelensky at the helm. And this government will manage things, facilitate negotiations, and organize elections. We learn that there will be interim governance in Ukraine, which would allow for democratic elections and the establishment of a viable government. Well, that also suits Vladimir Putin, since Putin has always said he cannot negotiate with Zelensky. He is not legitimate. What agreement is he going to make with an illegal president and illegitimate? But at least, if there is an interim government that will be officially recognized, they can negotiate. And then it's okay. So, all of this stems from what? We were saying that the Russians have reclaimed 99% of the territory of Lugansk. And as if all that wasn't enough, we have 70% of the territories of Zaporozhye, Kherson, and the Donetsk People's Republic, which have just been liberated by Russia. Russian troops are advancing, liberating one locality after another every day. So, what is happening? Russia is ready to work with all countries seeking to resolve the underlying causes of the Ukrainian conflict for a peaceful solution. These are the words of Vladimir Putin. But Moscow is also ready to work with Europe on the issue of Ukraine. However, the European Union behaves inconsistently and constantly tries to lead Russia by the nose. That's Putin speaking. Russia wants to work with Europe to resolve the core issue of Ukraine. It's pointless for Europe to try to find money, I don't know where, to attempt to rearm itself. We just need to meet halfway. But instead of that, it prefers to lead Russia by the nose. He wants to provoke a conflict with Russia. So, what needs to be said? He adds that the European curators have convinced Kiev to continue the war until the last Ukrainian, in order to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia. However, this strategic defeat will never happen. So, Zelensky is in turmoil. If the UN decides, they will organize an election and set up an interim government. But since it is also Donald Trump's will, because Donald Trump, even at the start of the negotiations, he did not directly say to negotiate with Russia without relying on the presence of Volodymyr Zelensky. This even hurt Zelensky, who said he was being sidelined. Even Europe was also upset. Well, but eventually the phone calls between Trump and Vladimir Putin, he calls him, he gives him a little briefing. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here is the headline news. So please share it as much as possible in all available groups. On my side, I will get back to you shortly with more news. This was the voice of your one and only samurai.